Good evening, I'm Rosemary Barton, and this is The National. More smack talk from Donald Trump, why some see it as inciting violence against the media. Is this really just a distraction from what he's going to wrestle later this week? Black Lives Matter storm a stage in Montreal as a protest to a fatal shooting.
This is an issue of how Black people with mental health issues are treated by police.
Gaza sits in the dark. Derek Stoffel shows us a different power struggle in the Middle East. Plus, what's killing the killer whales off Canada's west coast? For supporters of the U.S. president, Donald Trump is no bully. He's a counterpuncher, someone who, when hits back harder. Well, after a week of tweets that were denounced even by fellow Republican politicians, today, Trump took his feud with the media to a bizarre new bare-knuckle low. Ellen Morrow has the story.
This video has been posted to not only Donald Trump's personal Twitter account, but to the @POTUS page as well, an official White House record, making it part of presidential history. It's originally from his time as a guest star on WrestleMania. This version doctored to show the president symbolically body slamming a news organization. The condemnation was swift.
It's not just anti-CNN, it's anti-freedom of the press, it's anti-freedom of speech.
The president's latest salvo comes after days of tweets attacking the media. To the critics who say the tweets are unpresidential, Trump says they're modern-day presidential.
The fake media tried to stop us from going to the White House, but I'm president and they're not.
While Trump's feud with the media plays well to his base, some Republican lawmakers have grown increasingly frustrated over the past week.
It's not helpful to call the press the enemy of the American people.
Some called today's tweet dangerous.
There are a lot of unstable people out there who do not take it as humor, who take it as a cult leader's call to action.
CNN responded to Trump's tweet in a combative statement of its own, writing, "We will keep doing our jobs. He should start doing his." While Trump wrestles with the media, that job is as daunting as ever. Later this week, he'll head to the G20 summit, where he's expected to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin. And at home, the ongoing battle over healthcare reform continues. Today's tweet plays into the criticism that Trump is distracted. Others say distraction may be the point. Trump's Homeland Security advisor defended him this morning, applauding Trump as non-political with a genuine ability to communicate directly to real people, portraying Trump as a leader who doesn't need the media. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Washington.
The world's most recognized living scientist, Stephen Hawking, also weighed in on Trump today on climate change. Speaking to the BBC, Hawking said, quote, "By denying the evidence for climate change and pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement, Donald Trump will cause avoidable environmental damage to our beautiful planet, endangering the natural world for us and our children." Hawking also said Earth is approaching a tipping point where a runaway greenhouse effect could, in fact, destroy the world as we know it. Canada Day got a lot more attention for its 150th year. Today, not only did celebrations spill over to today, July 2nd, but so did some rather serious conversations about reconciliation with the nation's Indigenous people. The CBC's Katie Simpson has that story.
Canada Day may have come and gone, but the show of national pride continued full force.
Canada 150, let's do it!
About 14,000 people gathered for We Day on Parliament Hill, a movement encouraging young people to think of others before themselves.
When you're kind to other people, then it makes them happy, and then they'll get inspired to be kind to other people, and it'll spread like a huge domino.
We Day has gained support of A-list Canadian musicians like Gord Downie. He used his appearance to promote reconciliation with Canada's Indigenous peoples.
We leave behind the first 150 years, the ones with one big problem: trying to wipe out our Indigenous people to take their minds and hearts.
The Prime Minister echoed those calls to build a new relationship.
We must accept our responsibilities for our failings as we try to help the victims and their families heal these decades-old, generational-old wounds.
Airport-style security remained in place, but smaller crowds meant shorter lineups and fewer headaches.
They just searched our bags, nothing really extensive or anything.
There was a bit of a line, like 10 minutes maybe. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
Very bad organization, I tell you that.
A very different experience from yesterday, when thousands of people waited in the rain for up to 5 hours to get onto Parliament Hill.
We spent Canada Day at home because we were afraid of the crowds.
Luckily for the Exumé family, there's still plenty of partying to be done.
Canada 150 celebrations will continue until the end of the year, with events like this, shutting down a bridge between Ontario and Quebec for a Sunday afternoon picnic.
Complete strangers with so much in common kept the bash going in an oh-so-Canadian way. A happy birthday as diverse as the country. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Ottawa.
Of course, the sun comes out when I leave. In Toronto, too, an Indigenous protest of Canada 150 yesterday actually led to what some called encouraging dialogue today.
The government of Canada has not felt like a friend, and so we have to turn that around.
By the end, there were even some hugs between community leaders and the Indigenous and Northern Affairs Minister there. Today, the Montreal Jazz Fest got a surprise performance with notes of outrage and the sounds of protest. Courtesy of Black Lives Matter, supporters of the movement took over the stage to denounce Tuesday's police shooting of a black man there. Simon Nekonenchny was at the scene.
They took their message to the stage at the Montreal Jazz Festival, but they weren't here to comment on the music. They say when it comes to their interactions with police, it seems like black lives don't matter much at all.
The police attacked the Ontario law with rubber bullets, but that was not enough for them.
Oftentimes, I feel a little agitated because I just know, like, at any moment, something could happen. I could be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And being a black woman, for me, that is scary.
I believe that we will win.
The demonstration started with a vigil outside the home of 58-year-old Pierre Coriolan. He was shot dead by Montreal police Tuesday evening in his apartment. There were signs Coriolan was having a mental health crisis. Police say he was holding a screwdriver in each hand. They used a stun gun and rubber bullets before shooting him.
It's just heart-wrenching. Another black man who was in mental distress, who was killed by police here. It goes beyond Montreal. This is an issue of how black people with mental health issues are treated by police.
We have the electric, the taser.
Montreal's police chief says he's working to make sure his officers know how to de-escalate mental health crises.
We do have more than 200 officers who are specifically trained for that. We're going to make another training in September.
But outreach isn't easy with an overwhelmingly white police force.
With just over 7% of Montreal's police service coming from visible minority communities, many here say they simply don't see themselves represented in the ranks of those that are sworn to keep them safe. Simon Nekonenchny, CBC News, Montreal.
We're learning today that one of the people wounded in Friday's hospital shooting in New York is Canadian. Justin Timperio is a medical resident at the Bronx Lebanon Hospital Center. He's 29 years old and from St. Catharines, Ontario. His father says he was shot several times, including in the liver. He's in stable condition and scheduled for surgery tomorrow. Coming up,
I am a stranger.
Up close and personal with Gord Downey. And later, Peter's final goodbye, as only the CBC's Terry Molesky can tell it. Syrian officials say 3 bomb-laden cars pushed toward the heart of Damascus today. There are conflicting accounts of the death toll, ranging from 8 to at least 20 people killed. 2 vehicles were intercepted, exploding on the outskirts of the city. A third managed to get further into the city, detonating when confronted by security forces. Despite years of civil war inside Syria, bombings in Damascus itself are in fact rare. 3 hours of electricity a day in the heat of summer. That's become the reality of daily life in the Gaza Strip. The Palestinian territory is often plunged into darkness. And as Derek Stoffel reports, the power struggle goes far beyond supply and demand.
The worst power crisis in recent memory means most Gaza streets are lit only when cars drive by. Blackouts have become the new normal for the 2 million residents here, including for Iyad Redwan and his family. These small lights run off batteries, the only illumination inside their home. Even at night, the temperatures approach 30 degrees. No fans, certainly no air conditioning. I don't know why this is happening to us, he says. We struggle from the heat. It's like we are already dead. There hasn't been around-the-clock electricity here in Gaza in more than a decade, but clearly the power crisis is at its worst right now, with most Gaza families only receiving between 2 to 4 hours of electricity per day. The problem isn't this power plant or production, but politics. The Palestinian militant group Hamas controls Gaza. It's locked in a fierce battle with the Palestinian Authority based in the West Bank. The head of the authority, President Mahmoud Abbas, recently asked Israel to cut the power supply to Gaza. Analysts say Abbas is trying to punish his rival Hamas.
Yeah, he's a moody man and he tried to punish Gaza, and unfortunately he doesn't care about the people.
Some residents and businesses are using generators if they can afford the fuel. The lingering power crisis here has forced Gaza's residents to cope and adapt.
This is the fridge. This is my freezer. Most of it is water.
Raham Al-Farawi is a Palestinian Canadian who lives in Gaza with her 2 children and husband. Life is hard. The kids bored all day with no TV. She can't do the laundry until the lights go on, if ever so briefly.
We make a celebration. My kids make their own celebration. I make most of it. I turn on the air conditioner. I turn on the TV.
But for most here, there is little to celebrate. When the sun sets, the Gaza Strip is again back in the dark. Derek Stoffel, CBC News, Gaza.
More than 60 firefighters and support crew are trying to gain control of a wildfire that's tripled in size in British Columbia. The fire is burning near Harrison Lake. That's about 80 kilometers northeast of Chilliwack. It was first reported yesterday afternoon. By evening, it was 20 hectares, and by today, up to 60 hectares. Summer is usually feeding season for killer whales off the coast of BC. Their meal of choice, salmon. Healthy. But researchers are warning there's just not enough fish to go round, and that's having an impact on an endangered species of orca. Megan Batchelor has the details.
Oh my God. They're so close.
These are the southern resident killer whales, amazing those who spot them and worrying those who study them.
There are 78 animals left. They've failed to thrive over the last 30 years. The numbers have gone up and down a little bit, but we're pretty much flat on where we were 30 years ago. That's not enough animals to sustain a population.
U.S. researchers have been using detection dogs to find whale feces. From that, scientists can learn what they're eating, what kind of toxins they've been exposed to, and whether or not they're pregnant.
But among the detectable pregnancies that we found, only a third of them actually went to term, 31% essentially. So 69% of them were failing, and a third of those were failing very late in pregnancy, which is pretty rare in mammals.
The reason they believe is because of a decline in Chinook salmon. The fish makes up 3/4 of the orca's diet, and salmon populations are under threat from a loss of habitat, fishing, and pollution. And whales are having a hard time finding the salmon that are there. Whales use echolocation to find food. High boat traffic disrupts sound waves, and researchers are hoping this study will persuade governments to strengthen rules when it comes to ships on the water.
So one thing that's going on this summer is a voluntary trial of slowing ships down. The slower ships go, the quieter they tend to be.
Experts say this is not a problem nature will fix on its own, but if efforts are made to help the salmon run, that could help boost the orca population. Megan Batchelor, CBC News, Vancouver.
Coming up, an encore presentation of Peter's really remarkable interview with the one and only Gord Downie.
Basically, it's a very simple device. In the road, there's a single cable buried, and through this cable we pass a current. Now, the current, of course, passing through the cable gives rise to a magnetic field about the cable. On the front of the vehicle, there are two coils, one on each side, and these sense the magnetic field coming from the cable. So what we do then is just to make sure that each coil is spaced exactly the same distance from the cable, and the car is therefore sitting squarely over the top of the cable. And this is done by sensing the change in the field of the coils. This information is passed into the car, into the electronic system, which decides how much off balance there is. Having decided on this, it passes an instruction to the steering column, and the steering column then operates to get rid of the imbalance in the system. The speed is regulated by controlling the frequency of the engine. In other words, you know that at a certain frequency of revolution, the car will be doing a certain number of miles an hour quite precisely. And so we have a very simple electronic device which you can set to your particular speed. This then checks the number of revolutions and again feeds back through a little loop and keeps those revolutions at that level, and the car therefore travels at that level.
There is one overwhelming fact that will shape the city of the 1980s. It is, of course, energy. The increasing price of energy will lead to changes in population density and in transportation patterns. Energy will increasingly determine where buildings are built and how they're built. While there will be new designs to meet the demands of energy conservation, the city of the 1980s will probably not look all that different from the city of the 60s and 70s. In fact, the need to conserve resources may mean a decade in which the city reflects the past as much as the future. The city in the past 2 decades was marked by an exodus. People moved away into the suburbs. The indications are this will change in the 1980s. Rising energy costs will make it expensive and inconvenient for people to live in sprawling suburbs. The need for higher density living will change the core of the city. Where there has been a boom in building offices, there will now be a boom building homes. Space in cities will not be wasted.
The big city centers will be building much more on the land that they have available, which is well serviced, of which there's quite a substantial amount.
1980s then may see the end of urban sprawl. Cities will contract, more people in less space. For some, that's a vision of an urban hell, but others see a hopeful side.
From a social point of view, it's great.
I'm a stranger. You can't see me. I am a stranger. Do you know what I mean?
That voice, it is unmistakable.
I am the stranger.
I've known Gord Downie for about 25 years. I'm a fan, devastated like so many others about the news of his cancer. Amazed at his performance through the summer's final tour. Hoping for the best, but knowing his condition is terminal.
Hey, I heard you were coming.
He hasn't given an interview since the news broke.
Thanks, guys.
He's had 2 brain surgeries, radiation, and chemo. He has MRIs constantly to track the cancer's progress.
Jump into the ride.
As a result, his memory is challenged. He writes key words on his hands to help him.
I got to your house this morning.
Reads lyrics from a prompter when he sings.
Just a little out tonight.
He's big on hugs and kisses. wants them with friends and strangers alike on greeting and on parting. But aside from all that, he's still Gord Downey, adored by his fans and fighting to make his mark on Canada.
And we got to be a country, it's going to take us 100 years to figure out what the hell went on up there.
In his latest project, he's aiming to bridge the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Canadians. It's his legacy project, The Secret Path.
This is what I want to do. Nothing else really matters to me.
We sat down in his Toronto rehearsal studio to talk about life, music, the tragically hip, and his legacy.
That's very good. Okay. A lot of people want to know how you're doing. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And I said that on purpose. You know, I'm doing good. Because I am. Everything sort of seems to make sense. I am learning how to do it because I've never done it before. And it's tricky. And but I have beautiful friends, you know. I've been so lucky, you know, living here in Toronto and being in the business I'm in. You know, I'm a very lucky guy.
On the treatment front, on dealing with the issues that are part of your life now, you've gone through a couple of surgeries, radiation, chemo, constant MRIs. How are you dealing with that?
Well, you just remembered all of it better than I did. My memories, which used to be my forte, and now I can't remember hardly anything. I have Peter written on my hand. I have a few things written on my hands. And I'd say that just to be upfront, because I might call you Doug, and I apologize in advance, but it's just because this is happening. Bugs me a bit, but...
Well, more than bugs you, that's the impact it has. We've known each other for 25 years. You've known your kids all your life, and you sometimes have to fight to remember their names.
Yep. Super drag.
Other than memory, how does it impact?
Pretty good. I think I got lucky with this. If it has to be terminal, then I got a good. I didn't get hit by a train, or it's giving me this long kind of way to do some of these things that I've always wanted to do. I'm grateful. It's so strange how things happen. We put my dad. We'd gone to Kingston and spent 6 to 8 months helping get our dad to the door. And the next day, we're walking home, my mom and my sisters and my brothers, from a lunch in Kingston, and I just, it's like, wow, into this, like passed out into the hospital and then figuring it out. Oh, well, that's why.
You used the word terminal a moment ago. Did you and do you see it that way?
Not really. I don't know how it actually makes itself known, like whether I don't know how it deteriorates me, if you can use deteriorate as a verb. See, when I can't say a sentence like that, then I'll know something's up. Is deteriorate a verb? Yeah, sorry.
Well, people going through this, have good days and bad days.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's me. Check.
This is a good day?
This is a good day, man. Seeing you, especially.
When you see people now, you want a hug.
I do.
And a kiss.
Yeah.
Why is that important to you now?
That was happening before, though, all this,
Yeah?
strangely, yeah. Yeah. my life was changing, and I felt my everyone that hung in there with me all these years were still there. They didn't write me off or anything like that. And they could have. And so yeah, hug and kiss. My dad, Edgar, definitely kiss on the lips, yes. And me and my brothers taught a lot of men how to do it.
You mentioned about how you helped get, you and your brothers and your family helped get your dad to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the door?
Right now? Like, no. No. I mean, it's just the door where you can say, it's cool, man, you can go. Everything's cool, don't worry. I said it to my grandmother. I never forgot it.
Are you in pain?
No.
Is that because they give you something for pain, or that this is not an issue about pain?
I don't think this is going to be a pain issue thing. Like I said, I think I got lucky with this one.
Do you need to take a break? Do you want to take a break, or do you want to just keep on going?
I'm good.
It's good. And you haven't had to use your hands.
I know. Well, I can cross off Peter.
I figured that job. I put it in my pocket.
So we go through a summer where you and the Hip are on tour. And it's an amazing tour. With millions of Canadians watching on television, and live streaming, and what have you. What was happening there? Why do you think that was?
Like, I really don't know. And I didn't expect it.
Really?
And no, I don't think a lot of people did.
You know, sometimes when we try to analyze moments like that, we say, was it something about you and the Hip, or was it telling us more about all those people?
I think people, my hope, because I took full advantage of, I had 7 leather suits. Leather's not too cool, but I took my time. I played every other day. So far as a singer, it's just heaven on earth, you know. And all these sort of provisions were made for me, and I got to wear what, you know, just every fantasy I'd ever had for a show was coming true, and so do the show. Sorry, what was the question again? It was
well, it was trying to understand in some way why the country reacted the way it did. You know, was it simply because they saw you slipping away?
Right. I think they tune in thinking, what am I going to see? Not like, how bad's he going to be, or what? Well, maybe a bit of everything. A bit of, oh, I love that band, or I saw them once, or what's the singer going to, I don't know. But what I definitely prepared for was tune in, and I'm going to, in the first 30 seconds, you're going to see that this ain't about that. This is about, you know, and the move I just made is just one of, I don't know, I'm not gonna.
During the tour, you kind of had a prompter on the words, like
6 of them.
It's all right, you're not gonna get me arguing against prompters. But you never needed that before, right? This was as a result of.
No, I always had a thing up front.
Yeah, with words.
Just more like, because if you're singing a very old and important song and can't remember the next you know, but I hardly used it. Oh, this time was about my health. 6 of them is pretty. That's I for some reason, yeah, every line I just can't. It's like the worst kind of punishment that I've had to kind of, even though I'm getting a lot of, like I was basically been describing, a lot of benefits from this. That's one savage kick in the pants, you know. Nope, can't remember people's names and can't remember lyrics. Sorry.
Knowing that, did you ever think, I can't do this tour?
Oh God.
Did you see, like, the Paul and the other guys going, this is not going to work?
They were very, very helpful, very understanding, very like, don't worry.
What do you think the Hip meant to those millions of followers that you had, who came out in different ways this year to see you and listen to you one last time? There was a connection between the Hip and Canada.
I mentioned it a lot in lyrics. So that's sort of what you're getting, yeah. But never, and I don't say this to my pride, but never nice. Never totally like, aren't we the best? Never. Because, and I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings, but as a kid growing up, like, what is it about this country that it's not a country? What is it? Can't tell. You know, we got to figure out a way to really help out our friends up north, you know? And I'm not like putting it all on my death, but it's put me in a position where I can actually get some attention. As I said something at the show that really clung.
Well, you know, Prime Minister Trudeau's got me. His work with First Nations He's got everybody. He's gonna take us where we need to go. And we gotta be a country, it's gonna take us 100 years to figure out what the hell went on up there. But it isn't cool, and everybody knows that. It's really, really bad. But we're gonna figure it out. You're gonna figure it out.
At 52, I'm really, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You people living up north who can't be gotten to, literally, physically. So sorry.
And the sorry relates to the residential school issue.
Yeah, among that, yeah.
Among others. But it's become the focal point of your latest project, Secret Path.
Mm-hmm.
The story of Charlie Wenjack, or Channy Wenjack. Why did this become something that you became so interested in and so concerned about and wanting to tell this story?
Well, my brother Mike gave me this sort of piece, one from the McLean's in '67, about a year after it had happened in '66. And it's just a basically sort of thumbnail description of a boy running away from the
residential school?
Yeah, that you're talking about, and trying to get home.
On a secret path, the one that nobody knows, and I'm moving fast on the path nobody knows.
This is the best thing I've ever done. And by best, I just mean it helps my heart a little bit. This is what I want to do. Nothing else really matters to me. Hi.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Good.
A friend of mine, Kev Drew, asked me one day to make a record with him. He just wanted to make a record. And I said I would, but I don't think I have any songs. But the weird thing is that I'd been writing about Charlie. So we made a record, and it's an attempt to capture the feeling somehow of trying to get home. I mean, we can think about how little we think about up there, but it's unbelievable. And yet their resilience, their ability to survive that, but there's still, like they say, there's 7 generations to go to fix. These things don't just get fixed now up there. You know, a lot of places not getting better, like we would expect, you know, well, everything gets better, like getting a little bit worse. And so now we have the chance to build something that will allow us down here and them up there to realize that makes us a country. That's 150, well, the last 150 years aren't as much worth celebrating as we think. But the new 150 years can be a year of building an actual nation, you know, with, like, imagine if they were part of us and we them, like how incredibly cool it would make us, you know? And that's what's missing as we celebrate donuts and hockey over and over and over and over again.
I guess the question that I have is, when you say, we didn't know about this, nobody told us about this, there were attempts to tell those stories, but there was this question about, you know, how interested we were in knowing this was even a problem. You know, it all centers around the question about, are we racist in our attitudes towards Indigenous people?
I don't think we are. Racist? No way. Just no exposure. There's, again, a chance at a whole different world waiting for us. And I don't think we're racist at all. I think we would love to have this added to our country.
I had wanted to tell my brother's story. I wanted his life to mean something. I had no idea how I was going to do that. But I trusted, I knew that something would come about in time. You know, who would ever thought? Tragically hip.
As part of all this, you've created a fund.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to accomplish with the Gord Downie Fund?
Well, the Gord Downie Charlie Wenjack Fund, basically, we are hoping to bridge the gap, I guess, ultimately, between us and them, not up in heaven, but up north. And then the weird thing is I think everybody in this country cares about this. That's that's not me being prophetic. I think it's true. I think everybody just bugs everybody a little bit deep inside. Like, why can't we do anything? Because it's really friggin' big and huge and impossible to imagine helping, you know. But it could be just such a first great, you know, attempt from us.
I'm not gonna stop. I'm just catching my breath. They're not gonna stop. I'm just catching my breath. I am a stranger.
I've only got a couple of questions left. Remind myself.
And they're really hard ones.
Yes. We've got a good level now. We can start the recording.
What? Wait, what?
Do you know what I mean?
What worries you now?
About
anything.
I want my kids to be good, you know? Want them to be safe and have a great long life and take what they need from me and leave what they don't. You know? Definitely leave what they don't. You know? Being a dad and being in a rock band, it's harder than it looks. But we tried. And we try.
What scares you?
Scares me. I don't want to die because my son's 10, my youngest son, Clemens, and that really scares me, yeah. You know, obviously. But, you know, sure want to, you know, sure want to do this right on the way out, so he's not worried. You know, he's not too worried.
You're fighting it though, right? You're fighting what's in front of you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can get more time. More time if I try this, I can get more time. Mm-hmm.
What will make you at peace?
Just doing things. So I've got, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 records sitting in the can. You know, the Hip are working, a record the Hip are working on.
So we could hear more from the Hip?
Yeah, to the point where it'd be like, Jesus, is that guy not dead yet? Canadians can be funny.
I guess part of fighting this is staying optimistic, staying busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Even being here with you, like, which I was really, really scared about, to be honest. Because I don't know what I don't know what my brain's going to do. This has been great. I'm thinking about, you know, it's just thinking about other things and just really able to talk, you know, with you. Not unlike Pearl does.
Charlie's sister.
The way she would talk.
As big as the world is, we're all connected in some way. You know, I don't know how, but I know that. You may be connected to somebody almost like a sister and a brother. And I think that's why Gord was connected to Charlie.
Do you feel connected to Charlie?
Of course. I think everybody, if they just hear his story, will. You know, I think that's what people who see his story, read it, they do. I've heard that a lot. People that just can't shake it.
Are you resigned to the direction this is heading?
I am resigned to the direction this is heading, yes. I am. I really am. And because I can see it and feel it not doing some good, but it's creating, it's creating something. And
an opportunity.
An opportunity, I guess, and they just don't come around too often. And yeah.
Does that make it easier to deal with what you're going through?
Yes, for sure.
Until the next time, Gord.
I love you. I'm just going to say that.
Too.
A little kiss. Yeah.
Muhammad Ali commanded a respectful silence and then applause as he entered the ring. The daily workouts were pure show business. First, an exhibition of speed and condition. And then, on the last day of training, he put on a surprise performance.
And who's the champ of Canada, too? Who's the heavyweight champ of Canada? Cavallo. How many Americans in here? All right. What other countries do we have in here? England? How many from England? Who? Israel. Israel? Yeah. Am I the champ in Israel? I'm not the champ in Israel? All right. So there ain't but one of you in here. You better be good. I don't want no smart stuff now. Can anybody just take my tail out of the ring? Would you ever settle for that? No, right? No. All right, that's all. You can go now. All of you who bought pictures, I'm going to put my name on it for you. Take time and autograph all your pictures. And because this will be worth about $10,000 in another 2 years. The people here in Canada, I've never been treated so nice in my life. I haven't had no people making wisecracks. Everybody's friendly. The children, the waitresses, the hotel managers, the policemen, everybody's as nice as they can be. And it's a lot different from where I come from.
I'm Lloyd Robertson at Control Central in Winnipeg, introducing our CBC television coverage of the 1967 Pan American Games.
And we are having another one of the intermittent showers that have been on and off all afternoon here in Winnipeg. However, the spunky Duke of Edinburgh is nonetheless traveling in an open car and is now halfway around the track. He is going to be officially opening these games. And those well-formed lines are obviously falling apart all over the place. A well-organized parade up to this point, but now it's been impossible to keep these lines in order during the rain. Nonetheless, some of them are stalwartly carrying on. The delegation from the Netherlands Antilles.
His Royal Highness looking up skyward a little bit, and he gets very little encouragement from there because there's an immense black cloud parked right over the top of Winnipeg's stadium. And funnily enough, Lloyd, I don't know, maybe this augurs well, but the rain stopped as Canada came by.
Right, the rain is stopping, and the weather has contributed to an air of conviviality.
A little bit of sun is beginning to sneak through.
I have the great pleasure and honor to declare the 5th Pan American Games open.
So let's all show Peter Mansbridge our appreciation. I hope you can hear that.
In case you missed it, although I'm not sure how, Peter Mansbridge signed off for the last time from CBC News yesterday. Tough for him, tough also for the many who've watched him cover Canada Day for years. So we thought we'd capture the occasion, and who better to tell the story than another recent retiree. Here's the one and only Terry Molesky.
You really would think that covering 34 Canada Days would be enough, but no, Peter Mansbridge turned out one more time in torrential rain for his 35th.
And good morning, I'm Peter Mansbridge. What a day this July 1st is across the country.
He said the rain would stop, and obediently it did, and he was off on yet another infuriatingly smooth performance.
Almost like it's starting to brighten up a little bit out there.
One long rebuke to lesser and more frantic broadcasters. Plus, he did it while fending off compliments all the way.
Let's all show Peter Mansbridge our appreciation.
Of course, it was inevitable that Peter would be peppered with praise. The Prime Minister came by and tried to interview him.
You leaving us on the right path, do you think? Lots more work to do?
I hope you're leading us on the right path.
Mansbridge tried to turn the focus back on Trudeau, who turned it back on him.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you for being a steady hand and a steady voice for us always through the years. We're going to miss you.
When are you going to find a real house to live in?
The crowd was hearing all of this and ate it up. Finally, Mr. Unflappable was a little thrown off. Throughout all of this, Peter never let on how tired he must be of the weeks of gushing goodbyes, or of the decades of July 1sts, which did not always go smoothly.
Good evening and happy birthday, Canada.
He first hosted the big day in 1982. It went fine until the audio died on a story about the new Constitution, and the Queen herself was rendered mute. Doesn't get worse than that.
Well, that's unfortunate. We've had a slight problem.
He skated on, but the next year the problem was too much audio.
The charge is that 21-gun salute not seeming to bother the Prime Minister.
In '83, Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau was looking on with young Justin and his brothers when it seemed the budding anchorman was a little too close to the guns. He got over it, and at least he was wearing a tie. Sadly, standards slipped after that. The baggy sweater, please. And the golf shirt, Tusk. Today, he kept the fashion felonies to a minimum, except for his shoes, which were at least patriotic.
You know, every year I get criticized doing the Canada Day show that I don't wear enough red. My shoes, red.
Even so, he still looked crisp after 5 hours on the air, and when the final seconds ticked down, he kept it simple.
So, from Ottawa, I'm Peter Mansbridge. Thanks for watching all these years.
And that was his sign-off. Nearly 50 years on the air, and goodbye. Kerry Malewski, CBC News, Ottawa.
And if this is any indication, retirement's starting off right for Peter. He Instagrammed this, quote, "First day of the rest of my life." I think he's going to be just fine. That's The National. For this Sunday night, for news at any hour, you can always go to cbcnews.ca. I'm Rosemary Barton. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching.